So I thought I'd do a little edge tutorial for you guys with this little Halloween swell wallet. So essentially whatever I show you would be the same on your own projects. The only thing I'm probably doing differently is I use an edge trim. So I've cut these completely flush with my edge trimming blades, but the principles will still be the same. I'm just gonna walk you through the grits and how I go. Starting with a 180 grit, I've said this to many people before, but if you start too high, you're not actually going to remove any material. You're just going to be smoothing over rough chunks and scratches and scars. So you need to make it look good at 180. Otherwise, it's not going to look good as you progress into higher grits. 180, spend a lot of time here. Multiple directions, keep the wallet the same starting point every time. But I'm not going in a single grain. I'm going multiple directions, back and forth, but always starting from the same spot. I'm not pressing crazy hard either, especially on reverse. It can tend to mushroom a little bit. So you don't have to be super aggressive, but just don't move on until it's smooth, and you'll be able to see all the ripples and gaps getting filled. So this particular wallet was a bit ripply. You can feel these bumps. And so I'm not moving on until it feels smooth. And so that feels smooth, and then we can just go on to the next side. See those ripples? We're gonna get rid of them. And you're not gonna get rid of that with a higher grit. You need to go very low. All right, so now I've spent a fair bit of time on the 180 grit. I'm running my finger along it. I can feel that all the bumps are gone. It's actually quite smooth. Usually when I'm almost on the edges, I'll go in one direction just to really smooth it out. And then this is another trick I do. With my lamp, I'm always checking the edge. You want to start seeing some light reflecting. You'll be able to see cracks. You'll be able to see raised sections. So this is a good indicator of when to move on. All right, so I'm happy with how it looks at 180. This is where I'll spend most of my time. Every grit after this is probably going to be less and less time. So if you can take away one thing, spend a lot of time at your lowest grit, 180 or even lower, just getting everything super smooth and clean. Otherwise, like I said, the higher grits are only going to mask things. All right. Now, what I do in between every grit from now on, so let's get the next grit. We're going to go to 240. This is another very important grit. Between every grit now, a little damp cloth, just damp. I'm going to wipe it. Watch. It's going to get a little bit darker, which is good because then I know where I've been. And then same thing. I'm just going to sand on top of that. And I just find that with the water, it just makes for a, oh man, very smooth surface. So watch this. If I go back and forth, it goes all nice and, you know, sandy and ashy looking. And then if I go in one direction, it darkens up, pushing the grain, getting all nice and smooth. And that's usually what I'll do for each side. Back and forth. When I'm ready to move on, all in that same grain direction. All right, next side, cloth. Just one nice wipe. Sanding. And more sanding. Yeah, so I'm always touching, feeling if it's getting smoother, feeling any, you know, raised sections that might need a bit more work, making sure the curve doesn't feel jagged. 240 is ending. Feels about time to go to 400. I have not been on this grid for very long. Look at that, and the light's reflecting way more. Bam. 320, I forgot, not 400. This one's a small increment, very similar. We're not going to be here long. Water, keep sanding. All right, 320 is looking good, feeling even better, looking very shiny, way more light catching now. All right, so now the next grit is 400. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna sanding edges with 400, then we're going to bevel, and then we're going to just touch it up again with a 400. And the reason why I bevel not at the end is you've been doing all this smoothing out of the edges, and depending on how you bevel, you're applying downward pressure to the edge and you'll squish it a little bit. So I like to do it around 400, 600, bevel the edges, keep sanding, go nice and light, and then you shouldn't get much more of a mushroom or a bevel forming on the side. Alright, so that edge is done. Now we're going to bevel. Dun, 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 dun. Quite a bit of an edge on this. Just be careful to get it all. Alright, so edge is beveled. That same starting point, and just no need to wet it. Just quickly go over and squish those edges back down. I kind of go in one direction with these ones. So when you're getting to these grits, you'll feel it on the sanding, how smooth it is. There's no, like barely any resistance, it's rolling over, there's no bumps. You kind of want it to just glide over. Yeah, feeling almost rubbery. It's weird, hard to explain. Heaps more light. Very nice. So normally I'd be moving up to 600, but I'm actually all out of 600. So we're gonna go straight to 8. It won't be a problem. But yeah, normally I chuck in the 600 grit after the 400. So once you hit the 800, the sanding, for me, I'm even listening to how it sounds. Don't know how to explain it, but it's like a less resistance, less scratchy, more of a smooth sound. You can feel it in full contact with the edge. Now these last two grits, the 800 and the 1500, will be very quick, or you've already done all the work before it, and now you'll really start to see the light. Once you hit that 800 grit, you'll really start feeling that light. And because the sanding has made the grain even tighter, when you wipe it with the cloth, you'll see more water on the surface. There's no way for it to absorb. See, I don't know if you can hear that. Nice and smooth. I can feel it full contact across that entire edge. It's getting quite dark now too. So that's 800. All right, 800 feels good. Finishing on 15. Back in the day, I used to go a bit crazy. Sometimes I still do with the grits. You can go up to the 15, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, but I found that the effects were marginal at those grit levels. So now I generally just finish at 15. If you've put in the work early, then at 15 it's going to shine. So this is going to start looking real good. The edge should be getting quite dark as well from all the friction, especially if you go in one direction. It's going to give you an indicator of what it's going to look like with the tokonol. So it's a nice dark woody edge. Look at the light on that. Yeah, very glossy. So it doesn't even feel like there's a grit while I'm doing this. That's how smooth it already is. And also the 1500 is quite a high grit. Almost feels like I'm just rubbing a piece of paper over it. That's a good indicator that you've gotten the edge nice and smooth as well. Same thing, back and forth, finishing in one direction. Let's look at that. Very nice. At this stage, do not drop it. Do not get dents in it. All your hard work can be ruined. So let's just take it easy. Yeah, the different that sounds compared to early on. Much smoother. Alright guys, we're ready for the toque. Looking good. Alright. Finished at 15, that's all the sanding. Doesn't take that long. Early stages take longer. The later stages, you're moving quicker through it. Alright, so now, toconol, burnishing cloth. And yeah, not too much, but enough. Let's see how we did. With the burnishing too, you want to hear that kind of, that sound. Like a odd resistance in the friction. And then let's check it. Look at that, glassy. It's exactly what we want. Exactly what we want. Not too thick, but I like a nice bit of coverage. Wipe off the excess. Shake at the corners. Keep burnishing until you start getting that sound and that friction. Alright, let's check it. Oh, yeah, son. Look at that. It should be nice and glossy. Alright, let's make sure there's no excess anywhere. Give it another little burnish. Let's check that edge one more time. Yes. Lots of light, very clear. No big gaps. Done a good job. All right, edge wax. All right, so this is Columbus edge wax. This is just the clear. They've got different colors depending on your edge. This is just the neutral clear one. So I don't have a heat creaser, which a lot of people do. So I get a canvas cloth and I just load it up with wax. Just get it all into the fibers there. As you can see, I've used this cloth many times. The reason I don't do this straight on the edge is 8 times out of 10, I'll press too hard in one of these corners, or I'll kind of, I don't know, get jarred on the edge, and it ends up leaving a big, like a dent, and then all that work is for nothing. So load up your cloth, same thing, start on your starting point, and then we're just gonna burnish it into the edge. And you know, as you're creating friction and heating up, you'll feel a bit of resistance, and that should be the wax going into the edge. You can see it. So make sure you're not putting this in the exact same spot every time. Otherwise, you know, as you're applying the wax, it's leaving the cloth, going to the edge, and then you're just going to be reburnishing. See all the wax coming off? It's good. All right, let's get rid of that wax. All right, and then with a clean, light canvas, I am just going to quickly go over that wax again. Make sure it's all melted into the edge. Now, look, this isn't going to be as good as, you know, melting a whole slop of wax onto the edge, but I don't even really like that look. I kind of like it a little bit thinner. Just enough for a polish. And this should be done. It's definitely still super glossy. And that's it, guys. I hope you learned something, or you know, something that you can improve or take away. Mine's not perfect, but this is just how I do it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed doing the edge on this swirl with me. Whoever gets this is going to be pretty happy, I reckon. Thanks heaps, guys. See you.